Well, in this video, I will go over the quiz graphing exponential function. So in this quiz video, I have to graph this exponential function, graph completely, determine domain and range, and interval rotation. So before I start graphing, I'm going to write down everything I know about this graph. So there's three things that's going on. This minus right there means it's reflected across the y-axis. Excuse me. What this x minus 3 right here, that is a horizontal shift of 3 units to the right. Okay, and then this minus 3 is a vertical shift of 3 units down. And did you also know if you have a vertical shift, it's also your new horizontal asymptote. So you have a horizontal asymptote at y equals -3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph the parent family, which is y equals 4x. Pick 3 points from this graph. Uh, so I'm going to use 0, and when you plug in 0, you're going to get an output of 1. And then I'm going to use a positive and a negative. So the next x value I could use is 1. So when x is 1, the y value is 4. And then the next x value I could use, I'll use a negative. So maybe I'll use -1. When you plug in -1, you get 1/4. Okay. And then I'm just going to do the add-ons. So the next one I'm going to do is with the -4, the minus in front of the 4. So y equals -4 raised to the x, right? So what that means is if you have a minus in front of the base, you just multiply the y coordinate by that number. So 0, 1 will now be 0, -1. I'm just multiplying the y value by -1. 1, 4 would be 1, -4. And -1, 1/4 will be -1, -1/4. Okay. The next one I'm going to do is with the horizontal shift. So it's y equals -4 raised to the x minus 3. So this is a horizontal shift of 3 units to the right. So what you'll do is just always from the previous coordinates. So in your case, this one, these threes. I'm going to add 3 on the x value. So 0, -1 will be 3, -1. 1, -4 would be 4, -4. And -1, -1/4 will be, just add 3. So 3 plus -1 is 2. 2, -1/4. Okay. The next one I'm going to graph is the one with the vertical shift, the final graph. Okay, so this -3 just means you're subtracting 3 on the y value. So starting with the previous points, just like these ones, 3, -1 will be 3, -4, right? All I did was subtracted 3 from the y value. 4, -4 will be 4, -7. And then 2, -4 will be 2, -3.25. Okay, so plug these 3 points and you'll have a graph. So What I could do is graph the horizontal asymptote. We said that our horizontal is the same as our vertical shift. So we have a horizontal at y equals -3. So we could just draw a little dashed line at y equals -3. Okay. And then what I would do is just plot these 3 points. So 3 comma -4 would be right here. 4 comma -7 will be right there. And then 2 comma -3. Sorry, 2 comma -3.2 is right about there. Okay. And then it's gonna look something like this. Okay, never crossing the horizontal asymptote. Okay, yeah, that's your graph. That's how I would graph this exponential graph. Oh, we got to figure out the domain and the range. So what do you think the domain is? It doesn't matter if it's increasing or decreasing, it's going to be still all real numbers. And then the range is, it's not all real numbers. So what's our smallest y value? It just shoots down to -infinity. And then it stops or gets very close to your horizontal asymptote, which is -3. And that's it. That's your domain, the range. That is how I would graph this exponential function. And as you can see, I would not make a table. Okay, go ahead and pause or write everything down. And I guess we can stop here.